Welcome to the short demo of TrueGradient's integrated business planning platform. Before we dive in, let's set the stage with the problem we are solving. Today's planning community, especially across CPG and retail, is unhappy with legacy systems and spreadsheets. Planners are constantly asking critical questions like lost sales due to out-of-stock situations. Too much inventory, excess inventory is tying up the working capital. Forecast accuracy, poor at granular levels. Forecast accuracy does not capture promotion levels correctly. What is the right promotion depth for optimal ROI or to meet the sell-through target? Always in firefighting mode instead of proactive planning. And these problems are not isolated. They are interconnected, and that means they deserve an interconnected solution. But in most traditional organizations, planners typically optimize their own KPIs in silos, often leading to counterproductive results. A modern AI-native platform must unify these decisions so that every planner across demand, supply, or price is aligned to one goal, that is to maximize service level at lowest possible cost. And that's exactly what we do at TrueGradient. We solve the planning problem end-to-end in an interconnected, AI-driven manner. Our highest value use cases are demand planning, the most accurate forecast at SKU location level, supply planning, the most optimal inventory in the network, and price optimization and planning, the most optimal price to meet your sell-through goal. Fast-growing brands like Angel Care, Franklin Stores, and XClad have realized tremendous value after adopting TrueGradient. This next slide may look busy, but it's important. It illustrates our building blocks and our key differentiators. At the heart of TrueGradient are four pillars: data, AI, infra, people. Let's talk about the problem, and I'll show you the solution in action. First, data typically resides in fragmented systems, is often of poor quality. Access to world-class AI scientists is tough. High infrastructure costs to run deep learning models. A clunky and rigid user interface often leads to poor user adoption. Poor value realization, long implementation timelines of 6 to 12 months. TG solves these problems, crushes the timeline into weeks, and impacts KPIs such as forecast accuracy, working capital, and margin in a positive way. So let's see the platform in action. The homepage shows the full spectrum of planning challenges we solve, from demand planning to inventory and production planning, price promotion planning, assortment planning, and so on. The platform is organized into 5 main workspaces: agent, conversational interface to build models and configure systems; experiment, a no-code, low-code environment to ingest data, clean, and model data; planning, a planned operational layer where experiments are promoted into live production plans where planners come, interact, review, enrich motion plans. This is where the planning workbench also resides. Insights, dashboards, and reports. Optimize is where reinforcement learning and data cleansing agents exist that continuously improve inputs and outputs. So let's start with the agent. This is where you can chat with the system to build or configure models. It is designed both for our internal TrueGradient team and for customers who want to run their own small experiments without writing a single line of code. I'm not going to go through a detailed demo of agent. There is a separate demo on this functionality, but maybe let me quickly, show you a glimpse of it. So I've just, asked for, if I ask a question, let's say forecasting demand, it's automatically suggesting a demand planning module, and it's going to pop up the data requirements. So you can load your data, or you can pick up the sample data which exists here. So the idea is that ease of use and intuitiveness of this conversational makes access to AI, for everyone. So that basically improves adoption. So mandatory tagging, data tagging is happening over here. You can confirm tags and confirm data, etc., and so on and so forth. So this will run in the, let's move on to the next workspace. Like I said, there is a detailed demo for this section available. Let's start with how we bring in the data when we start any project. Yeah, so when we start any project, we basically connect with your legacy or existing ERP systems or databases like Snowflake, SQL, marketplaces, or ERPs, etc. So we bring the data from there and basically ingest data automatically. So once you bring in the data, let me show you how we basically configure or set up the model. So I'm going to show you an existing experiment for a CPG company. So let's go with the flow. Again, I'm going to go a bit fast. So we brought sales data, inventory item, so a couple of internal data sets, future data. We can also bring causals like price, promotions, and even external data if necessary. Moving on, we will set parameters like business parameters like for demand forecasting, what is the start date, how much history we want to consider, what is the time granularity, the forecast horizon, let's say in this case 12 months, or you can set anything 18 months, etc., and so on and so forth, right? And similarly, there are hundreds of constraints or parameters that can be set on the inventory or supply planning side, from safety stock to lead times to MOQs, things like batch level tracking, network load optimization, or even stock transfer between DCs and stores. So we have worked with several customers, and you can see the depth, basically the amount of parameters we can set, and all in a transparent manner. Obviously, TrueGradient will do the setting, but our customer can also see what is driving the behaviors of the models. Similarly, on the price promotion optimization side, all the constraints, if your objective is to maximize profit or revenue, all that can be set here. Again, algorithm will behave according to the settings, and users can also go and see what are the settings. Similarly, in more technical spaces, this model setting where we will come and set all the features, all the models, etc., in very detailed. There's a lot of sophisticated science going on here, but we will do all the setting, but users have access and in full transparency. You can see what are the settings. Once the experiment is set and executed, then you land into the planning space. So let's talk about this automatic generation of baseline version is configured already, which is on demand, supply, promotion plan, and a couple of reports, and then insight sections are generated. So let me orient you to the demand plan. So, like I said, once we generated, the AI model has run, let's say on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, what you see is in blue is the historical sales, in orange is the forecast. So we not only generate a point forecast, we also generate probabilistic forecast. We provide you lower bound, upper bound. We also provide several others, P10 to P99, several other outputs of forecast as well. Now, there are several filters available here to easily dissect and review the data, all this kind of standard stuff. You can review the data in units and revenue, so that is possible. The metrics are configurable. You can also come and download this data, this grid in an Excel and upload it back by making some adjustment if you want. You can also make the adjustment in these grids directly. Adjustment can be also made in a visual manner. For example, you select, a horizon of let's say next 3 months, and you choose to say, okay, I'm going to choose upper bound for this particular whatever subcategory, and you can add that enrichment, and it will automatically make those changes usually. So once you've done this consensus planning, also called, some people call it SNOP planning, then again, your final forecast approved by planners is released into supply planning. So in supply planning, you first of all, the first most important thing is you start with the alerts, right? So, what the algorithm is trying to do is bring you into the stable stock zone, which is to maximize service at lowest cost. This is the place ideally your business should be, your inventory should be stable. Excess is a problem because excess in your working capital, low inventory, critical stock, all a problem. Low inventory, you breach the safety stock, critical, you breach a lead time, stock out obviously is a problem. So what you see here, I'll orient you to the chart, but what you see here is again these sort of filters over here, and then there is a great proper planning workbench with key metrics like beginning inventory, dozen inventory, etc. All configurable variables, right? You can see it across the time horizon, a future projection of your supply plan, right? And these can be weekly buckets, monthly buckets. Again, can be downloaded, uploaded. You can enrich it. You can also build your own report, so that is available. You can select your own filters and customize this report. All that can happen. What is interesting is this chart, which is a sort of typical. Right, so when we start a project, we typically, in most situations, see a higher inventory, right, if it is suboptimal. And then after a certain cadence, once, planners start to adopt AI recommendation, we see it falling into a nice rhythm of upper bound and lower bound at a lower range of inventory, right? That's supply planning. Once you've done supply planning, the third interconnected and most valuable use case is price optimization or promotion planning, right? So price optimization engine basically uses, uses outputs from demand and supply modules to maximize both margin and sell-through. It helps answer strategic questions like what is the ideal base price for each product, what is the level of discount, what level of discount delivers the best ROI during promotions, how do price changes influence volume, margin, and inventory, and so on and so forth. The underlying science is that it leverages elasticity models, demand forecasts, and stock positions, and the model recommends an optimal price point that balances revenue, margin, and inventory health. So you can see there's a pretty detailed output available down here. And what is even more interesting is that, TrueGradient does suggest an optimal recommended price point, but we also give a scenario building, powerful scenario building capability where planners can come, select the horizon, let's say, I select the next 3 months, and I choose to, let's say, reduce the price in that scenario and see the impact. So you can see the impact live, how it influences the demand. So that is the power of, a scenario builder right there. There are a couple of other things going on here. There's trend analysis, scenario planning, etc. I won't go there. There is also functionality called optimize, basically, which is where we have our reinforcement learning agent and data cleansing agents. A reinforcement learning agent continuously learns from actual or forecast enrichment, continuously learns from actual sales data and selects the most accurate forecast among different probabilistic options, right? In this case, for example, ML forecast is the most optimal outcome. If I go at a SKU code level for item 39, it says the upper bound is the most optimal outcome, or most most probable choice. And it keeps rewarding good actions and penalizing poor ones. The other thing which we do, which is super important, is to fix the input data. So this is where we have data cleansing agent, which we work with the planners, also some automatic algorithms that we have, which identifies and fixes anomalies in your input data, ensure you're clean, reliable data pipelines. So there's a lot going on here. Like I said, there's a lot more under the hood, and we'd be happy to take you through those in a deeper session, right? There are a lot of reports and a lot of other capabilities, but hope this quick walkthrough should show you a glimpse of how TrueGradient is redefining integrated business planning with AI, speed, and simplicity. Thank you for your time today. We hope you enjoyed this brief demo.